Hey guys, this is Dwayne here. So today I have for you a review of the Maclaran series King James Version Bible. Let's go ahead and give that King James Version a little bit of love. Why is this named the Maclaran series Bible? Well, this Bible is named after someone called Alexander Maclaren, who was a very prolific preacher back in the same time period as Charles Spurgeon. I'm not going to do a whole biography of him here, but I did leave a link down below. So go ahead and click that once this video is done, or if you click it now, make sure you come back and watch the rest of this review. And that will give you a really good, solid idea of who Alexander Maclaren is and why Thomas Neslon might name something like this after him. So we're going to take a look at this and we'll see what's inside it. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. So when you get it in the mail, this is what you're going to receive. A nice kind of gold box. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's this nice little pattern on there. And of course, we got the King James Version Bible, the Thomas Neslon Maclaren Series Edition there. Now, this is going to be a large print reference Bible, as noted on the box. Same information on the sides there. And of course, there's some additional details on the back that you can take a look there. If you want to go ahead and pause that, you can read what's on there. Now, of course, like I always point out, we do not buy a Bible for the sake of the box. So let's take this guy out of here and get out of here. And here it is. This is our King James Version Maclaren Series Bible. Now, this is a really nice Bible. Right off the bat, when I first took it out of the box, I was quite surprised at this Leathersoft cover. This does not feel like a Leathersoft cover. This is really soft, really supple. And the grain on it, let me just show you that. I'll get it in the light here. The grain on that is something like you would see on a premium Bible. I mean, they have done a really good job on replicating the grain on this Bible. So the cover for a Leathersoft is exquisite. It is much nicer than some of the other Leathersoft I've seen. You'll notice in the last review I did of the Net Bible, I commented on how the cover was quite stiff. But there is no stiffness like that in here. It is just smooth as butter. Now you'll also notice we've got perimeter stitching around the edge there, all the way around. And this specific edition is actually a two-tone brown. It's like a darker on the one side and a lighter brown on the other side, which is quite nice. Now this KJV Maclaren series is also available in just a straight up brown. I think it's a light brown, a black Leathersoft, a black genuine leather, and then this is also available in the Goatskin Premier Collection. Plenty of options if you don't like this specific setup. Now, taking a look here on the spine, you'll notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raised hubs. And of course, we have some very nice decorative gold stamping on there with the title Holy Bible and the KJV logo for Thomas Neslon right there. And then of course on the back, it's just the regular sort of brown color with the stitching around it. And of course, our ISBN number stamped in gold there. Now taking a look at the edge, you can see that this comes with a nice gold gilting. There's no underlying gilding, so it's just gold over whatever color the paper is. But again, for something like this, that is a nice touch. Of course, as you could probably see there, we have 2 ribbons. Let me open this up here and we'll pull those ribbons right out just to give you a really good look at those. We have 2 ribbons. Keeping with the motif of the cover on this one, we have a light brown ribbon and a dark brown. They are angle cut, and unlike the Net Bible, let me get these a lot closer here. Unlike the Net Bible, there's no fraying or anything there. So this is the kind of quality that we like to see from Thomas Neslon, and typically what they're known for. So you'll see they come about 2 inches off the bottom of the page there, and I think that's a good length. Some people like them really long. Some people don't like them, but that's more of a preference thing. I want to draw attention to the liner here. So because this isn't in a fancy leather Bible or anything like that, this is going to be a paste down liner. This is not an edge line where the liner is actually tabbed into the block. This is not that. This is just a paste down liner. And I did what I call the tear test. I just kind of go like this really lightly, just to see how strong that specific liner is. And this one actually tore pretty easily. There's some liners that I've seen that are kind of like this sort of plasticky material. It's very hard to tear, but this is just some sort of cardstock, not very strong. And if you'll notice already, the paste down portion, especially on the corner, had started to come up a little bit. Now, I understand that it may be a little bit difficult to get that glue to hang on to those corner stitchings. But maybe a little bit of glue and that'll go back in. But just a small hang up on the cover there. Now, also while we're talking about the construction, we have black headbands, or are those brown? Let me take a look at that in the light. Yeah, they look to be more of like a dark brown, same color as this headbands. So on both sides, you'll see that headband. And this is also a Smith sewn binding. I'm not sure, is this Smith sewn or Smythe sewn? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Why don't you leave that in the comments below and tell me whether it's Smith or Smythe. Use your favorite phonetic alphabet for that. Now with that out of the way, with having a good look at the cover, let's take a look at the inside. So you start off with your typical presentation page, your title pages. And I'll draw attention to this because I know some of you like to see that. This Bible here is printed in China, right there at the bottom. Okay, I know some people don't like that, others don't mind that, but just so you're aware, this is printed in China. Now, the Maclaran series Bible comes with the dedicatory to the Most High and Mighty Prince James from the translators. This specific edition does not include the preface for the translators to the readers, which is too bad. I think if you're going to have a King James Version printing, it's nice to have that. There's some really good historical content in there. Now, of course, we have the table of contents, some book abbreviations and some special abbreviations. You can take a look at that there. And then we go right into the Old Testament text. Now, a couple things to be said about the text here. I want you to notice right away we have the title of the book in a blue, bold font with the initial drop cap there. It's also worth noting that the headings are also in that bold blue font. Again, all throughout the Bible, you're going to see those headings in blue. Of course, the verse numbers are also in that same blue, but not bolded so much. Now, if this was designed for preaching or for easy reference in teaching environments and things like that, I think those numbers could have been bolded to have them stand out just a little bit more. But nonetheless, if you're using these for easily finding verses, you should not have any problems with that. Which goes on to say that this is a verse-by-verse format in a 2-column layout. It's pretty obvious we're looking at that there. And the other thing that you'll notice on the page is right at the bottom, centered along every page, are your references. Sometimes I'll offer in some definition of words that appear in the King James that are a little bit antiquated, that are a little bit today, Junior, that are a little bit antiquated, and they will provide you a more modern definition below. So references and helps essentially are in the bottom there. So let's flip on over to the New Testament. I'm going to take you over to Matthew chapter 5. Why? Because that's the Sermon on the Mount, and this is all the text of Jesus speaking here, and you'll notice that it is black letter. If you do not like red letter, consider yourself a winner on this one, because this is a straight up black letter text. You will not see any red letters in it at all, not even the headers or the verse numbers, because they're all in blue anyway. This does not have any poetic setting, so if we flip back over to something like the Psalms, you will see them also in a verse-by-verse format. Now, because this is a King James Version, I will also make note that this doesn't have the phonetic spelling that you sometimes see in there. This is just straight up English text with no major helps like that specifically. So I am now going to do what I call the Genesis 1:1 and the Revelation 22 test. Can already see that this book opens flat, which is pretty good for a Leathersoft Bible. The fact that this opens flat for a Leathersoft just shows you how well the Leathersoft is done. So let's flip on over to Revelation. This is the Revelation 22 part of the test, and as you can see, it opens flat on the other end as well. So this is something you'll be able to just sit down on your desk and do what you need to do. And of course, as we finish up toward the end of the Bible, Revelation 22 represents the last bit of text you're going to see here. We move into a sort of page here with a small note about the typeface. You can read that if you like. It gives you information about the font that's used here. And we get into a couple of the maps here. What I'm going to do here now is we're going to give this a quick weigh. We'll make sure that nothing of this is landing on the desk there. We'll make sure I think we're pretty good there. This looks to be about 2 pounds and 8 ounces. And if we give it a quick measure, got my trusty ruler here. We've got, say, 9 3/4 of an inch tall. We're about 6.5 inches wide. And if we measure the thickness here, we are at about 1.5 inches. So I would say 6.5 by 9. We're looking at a pretty standard size Bible being about 2 pounds. This is relatively portable. Okay, it's not going to be your smallest Bible, but this will be able to go with you when you go to church on a Sunday, whether you're preaching or sitting in the pews. This will transport quite well. So now that we've had a chance to really take a look at what this Bible has to offer, let's switch up our view here and take a look at some conclusions. So some final thoughts on the King James Version Maclaran Series Bible. This is essentially a rebranding of the Preacher's Bible, and it kind of makes sense because the Preacher's Bible wasn't necessarily going to be marketed just to preachers. You don't have to be a preacher to benefit from the features that are inside of this Bible. So rebranding it to the Maclaran Series, a prominent preacher, kind of gives that notion of a preacher's Bible without necessarily explicitly saying you have to be a preacher, so kudos for the name change. The Bible itself being constructed as well as it is, the text 10.5 font, that clear typeface, this is actually a very good Bible. Now the best part about it is its price. So it's currently listed at $54.99. That's the recommended price on the back of the box. But as of the time of this recording, I did find it at christianbooks.com for $33.99. And $33.99, guys, that is a steal for something put together as nicely as this is. So I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below and maybe tell me what you thought was the best part of this. Leave it in the comments below. Well, brothers and sisters, until next time, we'll see you around.